So, hello traders, how are you today? Hello Giovanni, Aline, how are you? Simo, Tim, Rashid, how are you guys? Thank you for joining me here for a new live trading session. Please read the disclaimer before we'll start this live webinar and before we'll start maybe talking about our current positions. Our long positions in the British pound versus the US dollar and our long position in the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. We'll start by talking about our current trades and we'll try, guys, to identify new trading opportunities. We'll take a look also on the DXY, on the currency pairs, on the US equities, maybe on the DAX 30, also on commodities, on gold, silver, oil, also on cryptocurrencies. Maybe you are interested also in cryptocurrencies. So yeah, guys, yeah, Adam, I will take a look on New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc later in a few minutes. Thank you. Rashid, which crazy profit today, but could you recommend which platform are suitable for crypto swing trading? Rashid, if you have any questions regarding brokerage companies, please email support and they will help you. And yeah, I'm not the one that runs and manages the crypto signal groups, so you can email support. Thank you. And okay, I will close this window from here and let's take a look here first of all on Bitcoin. First of all, because I've told you in my previous sessions in the past weeks that the price of Bitcoin could bounce back, could rebound from this support zone, from this demand area, and I've told you that as long as it stays below this 50% Fibonacci line, the pressure is high and the price of Bitcoin could maybe resume its drop, or the bias is bearish as long as it stays right below this 50% Fibonacci line. Okay, and right now you can see that the price of Bitcoin has validated here an upside breakout above this 50% Fibonacci line on Friday. As you can see here, breakout, retest, followed by an important rally here, which has confirmed potential growth here. And right now the price of Bitcoin stands at 38,341.84, above the weekly R1, above the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. And yeah, it has increased at one moment here today. It has increased at as much as 39,850, guys, but it has found a temporary resistance here right above the R2. It has closed it far below it. So personally, right now I would like to see maybe something like a potential or a temporary decline, test retest here of the 50% Fibonacci line of the R1, something like a consolidation here in the short term before maybe the price will resume its growth. So right now the price of Bitcoin is bullish in the short term after passing above all these immediate resistance levels, upside obstacles, and we have an important upside target here at 40,904, guys. We had this former high here. Also here we have, one moment because I will drag this one here. Here we have also the upside 50% Fibonacci line of the descending pitchfork, but as I've told you, a potential consolidation here in the short term could maybe bring us a new long opportunity, could help us maybe to get in for a long position. So maybe we'll have to wait right now because we cannot exclude maybe a temporary decline after this important and strong rally in Bitcoin. So as I've told you, a valid breakout here above the 50% Fibonacci line could bring us an important growth here in Bitcoin. And as long as the price of Bitcoin continues to increase, the altcoins, the other major cryptocurrencies could increase as well. We'll come back maybe and talk later about Ethereum, Dogecoin, and so on, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash. But right now we'll take a look on the DXY. Thank you. Yeah, hello guys. Gilbert, Darius, Maher, How many pips in profit should we move the stop loss to break even? What? How many pips in profit should we move the stop loss to break even? So when you move the stop loss to break even, you move the stop loss to the entry level. Okay, so let's take a look here, but first of all let's take a look here. So here's our real account, AvaTrade real account, you can see here, and here is our long position in the British pound versus the US dollar, opened earlier today. So I've sent you guys this long signal in the British pound versus the US dollar because the dollar index has shown some overbought signs. It was somehow expected to drop, so that's why I wanted to be short on the US dollar today, and that's why I've sent you guys this signal today. And maybe if the price will continue to increase, then maybe we'll manage this position by moving our stop loss higher, but right now we'll keep the position as it is. And right now we are here in profit, guys, something like more than 32 pips maybe, and the bias is bullish in the short term, and maybe the pair will continue to increase towards, and maybe it will approach and reach our take profit, guys. And let's take a look also on the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen, our buying position. So you asked me on Friday what should we do with this position, and I've told you that personally I'll keep this position. And as you can see here, the price in our real account, in our VIP real account, the pair has continued to move sideways, so we have an extended sideways movement here in the short term, and the potential upside breakout here above these former highs could really activate a potential strong growth rally in the short term. So we are still good in this trade, even if this one is right below our entry level. So we are good here with our trades right now. Okay, one moment, because I will take a look also on your questions. And yeah, Adam, I will take a look on the New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc. Thank you. Giovanni, the question is, we are quite in profit with the British pound versus the US dollar. As example, when you suggest to move the stop loss to break even. And as I've told you earlier, personally maybe I'll wait a little for the price maybe to continue to increase before maybe I will move my stop loss to break even. But don't worry, guys, because I will, maybe if I will not manage this trade right now during this live webinar, I will come back with trade management later in the VIP Telegram group. And maybe the first step will be, guys, to move the stop loss here right below this low 1.3773, but still I'll still wait for the price maybe to increase a little, because we cannot exclude maybe another temporary decline here before jumping higher, right? So right now I will keep my stop loss here. Right now we are, I've told you, maybe around 30 pips in profit. Maybe a temporary consolidation here, a temporary decline could bring us a new momentum here. So I will come back, guys, with the trade management maybe later in the VIP Telegram group, but right now let this trade ride. Okay, so let's take a look here. So I've told you that the DXY, the dollar index, has signaled some overbought signs here, and dropping here below the weekly pivot point signaled that we may have a decline here towards the downtrend line, towards the rising wedge support uptrend line. Right now it's traded below these downside obstacles, right below these support levels, and it stands at 92.55 right now, pressuring the weekly S1, also the 78.6 level, 92.53, guys. So we'll have to wait, because a valid breakdown here below these obstacles could signal a potential strong drop here, but we'll still have to wait, because this 4-hour candle will close only in 1 hour and 47 minutes. So this breakdown could still be invalidated, and maybe the price, okay, it has decreased, but it could still close maybe above all these support levels inside of the rising wedge pattern above the uptrend line. So something like false breakdown with great separation could bring us the DXY higher again. So that's why we'll have to wait maybe for the 4-hour candle to close. Maybe if the DXY will close around the current levels, maybe a valid breakdown, test retest here could signal an important decline here. So this rising wedge could still be activated, yeah, this reversal pattern. So activating this pattern could signal a potential strong drop, which could force the dollar to depreciate versus its rivals. Okay, Costel Alexandro, I never move the stop loss, I take the profit straight away. Yeah. Okay, nice. But yeah, you should use stop losses, and yeah, you could protect your trades, Costel, by moving the stop loss at break even, or maybe to block in some profits. Okay, this is your strategy, but maybe this will help you. Okay, so right now, as I've told you, so the DXY drops right now, but if you'll take a look on the economic calendar, yeah, here the new home sales, the US new home sales, worse than expected data. Here, as you can see, the specialists have expected an important growth here, but unfortunately the indicator was reported below, far below expectations, far below the 724,000 in the previous reading period. So bad data from the US. Maybe this indicator has accelerated the DXY's drop, but can add more in Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. Personally, we don't do that personally, or we opened that trade here in the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen using a specific size, yeah, risking only 1% of our account. That's why I will not add to our Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. So you can do whatever you want, man, but personally I will not add, or I will not open a new trade here in Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. I'm really good with what I have here. I'm risking only 1% of my live trading, of my real trading account here on this trade. We'll have to wait for an upside breakout, maybe here to confirm a potential further growth here. Okay, so new home sales was unexpected data. Also tomorrow you should be careful around the CB consumer confidence, the US CB consumer confidence. The specialists are expecting here an important drop as well. So all these have maybe forced the dollar to drop here in the short term. And also, as you maybe already know, on Wednesday we'll have the FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee, the federal funds rate. The Federal Reserve will publish its federal funds rate, also the FOMC press conference. So yeah, maybe the dollar was expected to drop a little ahead of this maybe high impact event. Maybe the traders are expecting something on Wednesday, something like a hint that the Federal Reserve could maybe take action in its maybe upcoming monetary policy meetings. So we'll have to wait, but you should be careful around this event, high impact event, because the volatility will be high. Most likely the DXY will register sharp movements. So yeah, so maybe that's why the dollar drops right now ahead of the Federal Reserve meeting. One moment. Yeah, there is, please, some comments about DAX 30. Yeah, I will take a look on DAX 30. Thank you. Matt, could you confirm the stop loss for the GBP US dollar trade, please. I think there may be a typo. One moment, I will take a look. So I will take a look here in our platform. So our stop loss is 1.3735, right? I will take a look also on the Telegram group. One moment, to see if there is a mistake there. Yeah, but 1 point, yeah. One moment, because I will add it. Yeah, thank you. So 37, 35. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so right now we are good. Okay, so you should be careful tomorrow around the CB consumer confidence, and also on Wednesday, because we have the Australian inflation data, Canadian inflation data, and the Federal Reserve meeting. Okay, so also on Thursday, the advanced GDP, unemployment claims, pending home sales, and also here on Friday, Canadian GDP, and also important US data. So I believe that the fundamentals could move the markets during this week. Okay, so we'll have to be careful here. So right now here on the DXY, we have to wait for confirmation here if the index will really register a downside breakout here, then maybe it will continue to drop ahead of the FOMC. So if maybe if the US data will come in worse than expected, maybe tomorrow as well, most likely the DXY will resume its drop here. Yeah, so we'll have to be careful, and if the DXY drops, maybe we'll search for more US dollar shorts in the short term. Okay, so let's take a look on the GBP versus the US dollar here. So yeah, this trade is really good right now, and maybe you are wondering why I've decided to place a buy stop here, only because you can see here that we had a drop, important drop here, a rebound, and here we had something like a resistance area, former lows here. But I told you maybe on Friday that personally I believe that the price of the British pound versus the US dollar could resume its growth if it stabilizes above the medium line of the ascending pitchfork. So here a drop, its failure to stabilize right below the medium line, below the 50% retracement level, breakout here through this immediate and minor downtrend line. And personally I've wanted to place a buy stop here far above this former high 1.3787, only because I was afraid that we may have something like only a false breakout here, but we had an aggressive breakout here, and right now the price continues to move in our direction. We are in profit here around 30, around 29 maybe pips, 30 pips. And that's why I've told you that I don't want to move right now my stop loss here below maybe this low or at break even, only because as you can see here on the 4-hour chart, the price has reached the weekly R1, the weekly resistance here 1.3829, guys, and we also have here the 78.6. so that's why I've told you that we cannot exclude the temporary decline here before a breakout and before an upside continuation, right guys? And that's why I told you that I will come back with the trade management into the VIP group, Telegram group. Okay guys, so yeah, okay, I will take a look New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar, also US dollar versus the Mexican peso. Let's take a look on, do you think right now you're for sell euro US dollar? Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. So right now for me it's not a sell, only because if the pair will really manage to close around the current levels to register a breakout from this falling wedge pattern, then guys, maybe the pair will resume its growth here if the DXY will resume its drop. Okay, so we have a strong negative correlation between the DXY, the US dollar index, with the euro versus the US dollar. So as long as the DXY drops, continues to drops, this pair should increase. We are still inside of this range here, and I've told you that personally I would like to see maybe an upside breakout from this range before considering going long, or for a downside breakout from this range before maybe considering going short on euro versus the US dollar. But as you can see here, the pair has failed to come back towards the falling wedges support, towards this downside line, signaling an upside breakout. And right now maybe something like a temporary consolidation here, or retest followed by a new higher high could bring us a great buying opportunity. Or if the price will jump here above this range will before moving higher. So we'll have to wait for confirmation, guys, here before, because this 4-hour candle will close in 1 hour and 35 minutes. So we'll still have to wait, guys, for this candle to close. Maybe we'll have to wait for confirmation. Yeah, we talked about the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen, Milad. So here is our trade here in our real account. So the price is located right below our entry, and I've told you that it has registered a sideways movement. Maybe this could be an accumulation, consolidation before resuming its growth here. So we are safe with this trade right now, and I've told you on Friday that personally I will keep this trade despite all these drops, temporary drops. That's why I've placed my stop loss right below this former low here. We have something like an important static support around this level, 87.48. One moment, so 87.48. yeah, so this trade could still be a good one. The setup is still valid, and the pair could resume its growth. Something like a breakout here above these former highs will signal and activate the potential for their growth. So right now I'm waiting for something here in euro versus the US dollar, because I don't want to buy here. Okay, because please take a look here. Yeah, false breakout. But despite this false breakout, the price has stayed here around the downtrend line, and right now we may have a valid breakout and the potential reversal here in the short term. Okay, yeah, so I will take a look right now on New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar, and then I will take a look on US dollar versus the Mexican pesos. Hungry foodie, thank you. So right now we have here an important rally in New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar right now, only because the DXY drops, and right now this pair challenges the downtrend line, the down channel's resistance, after here making a false breakdown with great separation below the weekly pivot point 0.6953, below the lower medium line of the ascending pitchfork. So you can see here that the lower medium line represents a strong dynamic support here, false breakdowns with great separation here, confirming this lower medium line as a strong dynamic support. And right now maybe a valid breakout here above the downtrend line, consolidation, stabilization, test, retests could bring us maybe a long opportunity here in New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. But I will come back with maybe new signals later once I have confirmations, because this could still be a false breakout here, right? Because right now the price is located right above 0.7 psychological level, so we'll have to wait how the price will react here in this resistance area. Adam Queen, New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc, looking at the potential buy around 0.6404. I will take a look on that as well. So Maybe I'll come back later on this one, because right now we don't have something really good. So US dollar versus the Mexican peso. Right now I don't have something good here, because yeah, we have this sideways movement here. Unfortunately, here the price failed to reach, maybe to retest the medium line of the ascending pitchfork. Here unfortunately the pair failed to retest the lower medium line of the ascending pitchfork, because something like maybe false breakdown with great separation, a pin bar, okay, maybe the price will drop, and if the price will make something like this, the price to drop below these support levels to close far above, maybe a retest or something like a pin bar followed by a strong bullish candle, could maybe signal a potential new rally here, swing higher here. But this scenario could take shape maybe only if the US data will come in better than expected these days. Also maybe if the FOMC maybe will, I don't know, be more hawkish than expected, if the Federal Reserve maybe will tell us something that they will maybe take action, if the inflation will continue to increase. We'll have to wait, guys, because right now I don't have something. Right now it's bearish, maybe in the short term here after dropping below the weekly pivot point, maybe a new lower low here, potential drop below 19.98 could signal a further decline here. But right now I don't have something really good in this pair. Okay, thank you. So I will take a look. So we talked about New Zealand dollar versus US dollar, about euro versus US dollar Mexican peso. Please guys, if you want me to take a look on a specific market, that's why I am here. I will take a look right now on the New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc, and I will also, one moment, I will take a look also on DAX. Darius, thank you. And also one moment, yeah, I believe that if I forgot something, please send a message again. Okay, so let's take a look here. I will delete my links. New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc, this is not on my watch list. I will maybe start my analysis from daily here, because I want to see something here. Okay, so we had an important uptrend here, decline, retreat, corrective phase, but one moment, yeah, maybe we could talk about something here, something like key level, maybe support, former resistance, false breakdowns. But right now, and as you can see here, if we will draw, one moment, a downtrend line, we have something like a channel here on the daily. One moment, and maybe let's take a look if we'll draw something like this. Yeah, it could maybe come back above 23.6 retracement level, and stabilizing above this retracement level could maybe signal an upside breakout, and it could invalidate a larger corrective phase here. We'll have to wait, guys, because right now it could only retest the 23.6 and it could resume its drop. We'll have to wait. New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc. And also, if we'll use here maybe a major descending pitchfork, selecting 1, 2 and 3, right now we are still right below the upper medium line of the descending pitchfork. So personally I would like to see maybe an upside breakout above this upper medium line, maybe an upside breakout from this pattern, from this channel here on daily, before maybe considering going long. Yeah, Jimmy, Apata, Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen, I will take a look on that pair. Thank you. So right now the pressure is still high, okay, because the price could still test retest, could only register false breakouts above this upper medium line before dropping deeper. Yeah, so we have something like a channel here, and let's take a look also on 4 hour to see if we have something here, only sideways movement here in the short term. So right now maybe we could, let's try to draw something here like an ascending pitchfork, but I don't know if it will be, yeah, we may have something like this. I will select another color here on 4 hour. So here rebound, test retest of the medium line of the ascending pitchfork, drop towards the lower medium line. But as I've told you, personally I would like to see maybe something like a valid breakout above this area here, so something like this, a new higher high, breakout also above this downtrend line, maybe before considering going long here on this pair. But right now I don't have something really good. I will have to wait because I've told you that the pair is still located right below 23.6, and if it fails maybe to come back towards the medium line, towards the upper medium line, towards the R1, a potential drop, valid breakdown here below the lower medium line, a new lower low could really signal a potential larger drop in corrective phase here in New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc. Okay, Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen. And let's take a look again on our trades. So we are still good. Right now the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen seems undecided here around the former highs, and maybe something like a bullish spark, something like a, I don't know, maybe we need something here to help the buyers to push the price higher, to make an aggressive breakout, to make a valid breakout above these former highs, to make a new higher high before. Okay, and here, as I've told you earlier, we may have maybe a potential decline here in the British pound versus the US dollar in the short term after reaching that resistance. So, but we are still good here. We are in profit here. And when I'll decide to manage maybe the trade, to move the stop loss, or maybe to close half or something like this, I will come back to you guys into the VIP channel. So Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen, retest of the weekly pivot point 80.95, and right now it approaches the medium line, which is seen as dynamic resistance, and only a potential very breakout here could signal potential growth here. Personally I will delete this major pitchfork, also this line, and as you can see we have an important resistance zone area here between maybe 81.97, 82.28. But guys, if we'll take a look here, let's also use maybe the RSI. Maybe we had something like yeah, so we had here a bullish divergence, maybe something like this or something like this, and you can see that the RSI has printed higher lows, and here we had lower lows. Yeah, so a bearish bullish divergence, sorry, signaling maybe an oversold here, something like potential rebound reversal. But right now, one moment, so maybe we had something here, something like a pattern here, breakout, retest, increase. The price has found resistance here at the medium line of the ascending pitchfork. So here is the medium line, temporary drop here, we also had something here. If we'll draw an inside parallel line, sliding parallel line, maybe here, after this one here, it has failed to reach and retest this inside sliding line. One moment, because I will use also the 50% Fibonacci line. So only false breakdown with great separation below the weekly pivot point, below the 50% Fibonacci line, and right now it approaches the medium line. Okay, and I really believe that maybe a new higher high here. One moment, because I will delete these from here, and I will, so here we have the former high at 81.65, guys, and maybe breakout, consolidation, stabilization above the medium line, a new higher high could really signal an important growth here in Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen. But I will take a look also on Nikkei, on the Japanese stock index, because you already know that personally I'm looking at Nikkei maybe when I want to trade the Japanese yen, maybe. So important sell-off here registered by the Nikkei. I've told you earlier today, that also the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen, our trade, the price, the pair has decreased only because the Japanese yen, the Japanese stock index, sorry, has plunged. It has registered an amazing sell-off here, but as you can see here, it has found support right on the lower medium line of the ascending pitchfork, and right now it's traded right above the weekly pivot point. So something like a consolidation here could maybe signal a potential further growth, and the potential growth here registered by the Nikkei could signal that the yen could depreciate versus its rivals. Okay, Giovanni, US dollar versus the Japanese yen, the swing signal we have had this closer to stop in the last days after almost reaching TP2. What do you think? The setup, is it still valid? I don't know, Giovanni, because I'm not running and I'm not managing that swing group, and I don't know exactly the trade. Okay, so maybe Orlando will go live maybe later today or tomorrow, and you can ask him because he is running and he is managing that Telegram group. Okay, Giovanni, thank you. So let's go back. Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen, and yeah, right now the Japanese yen drops and decreases versus its rivals. That's why right now, let's take a look also on the euro versus the Japanese yen. I believe that this pair is, yeah, but I will hide this one from here because this is not a signal right now. I've decided not to send that signal because, yeah, personally I was afraid here of something like a false breakout, or yeah, we are still okay having this one, Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. So this one is trading in the green. The British pound versus the Japanese yen, and also I believe that, yeah, this one is traded above the downtrend line. And if you remember from my previous sessions from last week, I've told you guys that the British pound versus the Japanese yen could resume its growth as long as the Japanese stock index continues to increase, as long as the Nikkei jumps higher. So temporary decline here is failure to retest the medium line. Breakout, a valid breakout, something like a consolidation here could bring us maybe also a buying signal. New Zealand dollar versus the Japanese yen, also I will also delete and hide that setup only because that it was not a setup, it was only for me. So this one is bullish here in the short term as well, after retesting the weekly pivot point here, 76.55. But here we have a static resistance at 77.28. Also, as long as maybe as long as maybe it will make a new higher high, and as long as it stays above the medium line, it could resume its growth. But right now I will not take a new long position here because I'm still waiting for something on all these pairs. I've told you that I'm waiting maybe for confirmation on the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen, on the British pound versus the Japanese yen, here on New Zealand dollar versus the Japanese yen, maybe on euro versus the Japanese yen. So maybe I will come back with more signals later, maybe shorting the Japanese yen. But don't worry guys, because you will get all our signals. Yeah. Okay, Giovanni, thank you. And also guys, please, if you want me to take a look on a specific market, DAX 30, that's why I am here. We don't have something good here in DAX 30. Please take a look here, because no, I don't like it right now. We'll have to wait here to see what will really happen, if the DAX 30, the German stock index, will maybe close this gap down, confirming maybe potential further growth, or maybe if it stays around these levels and if it makes a new lower low, then it could drop. We'll have to wait, but personally I don't like this index right now. Let's try to draw something here, but maybe something like this. So temporary drop after jumping far above the medium line. And that's why I've told you that maybe if the German stock index will close this gap, then it could maybe jump higher. Okay, maybe towards the historical highs, and only something like this, maybe drop, test, retest here, false breakouts, its failure to come back above the medium line could signal a potential drop here in the short term. But this is not a signal, this is only my opinion, my analysis. So we'll have to wait here for something, because I don't like DAX 30 right now. I don't have something because it's risky to buy it here right now. We'll have to wait maybe for something. Let's also use the Fibonacci retracement here. Maybe we had here something after jumping above these former highs. You can see that the downside 50% Fibonacci line acted as dynamic resistance, aggressive breakout, false breakdown with great separation, a new higher high here signaled something like an important growth. But yeah, Cooper, let's take a look. This is not on my watch list. Personally, I'm not trading. One moment. No. One moment. One moment. One moment. Here, I believe. Okay. So Giovanni analyzes on Cooper. It has a huge rise and go. Yeah. So we have an aggressive rally here. Let's take a look on daily. Actually, I have here an analysis. Upside breakout, aggressive. Whoa, what a massive and nice rally here. So breakout above this immediate downtrend line. It has failed here to stabilize right below 23.6, invalidating a larger corrective phase, larger drop. It has also failed here to drop towards the lower medium line. Let's use also the 50% Fibonacci lines. And yeah, you can see drop, support at the downside 50% Fibonacci line, right? Rebound towards the medium line, drop here, and right now we have an aggressive rally, and here maybe the upside 50% Fibonacci line could maybe represent a dynamic resistance, temporary resistance. But right now maybe it's too late to buy it from here. Maybe we'll have to wait for another maybe decline before maybe catching a new momentum, a new rally here in Cooper, but I believe that the members, the swing trading group, the swing members have received something like maybe long in Cooper, I believe. I've told you that I'm not managing that swing group, Telegram group, but yeah, so we had an aggressive rally here, breakout. Unfortunately the price failed here to come back to retest, but maybe this is natural after here, after this sideways movement, after staying around this downtrend line. Maybe it was natural not to maybe come back to test and retest the broken levels, but as I've told you, maybe it will decline a little in the short term after this impressive rally, and maybe we'll have a new long opportunity here in Cooper. Okay, we'll have to wait maybe, guys, because right now it's risky to buy it, or yeah, it's risky to buy it from here and maybe to hide your stop here below this former low. That's why maybe a temporary decline and follow it by temporary decline maybe towards this support zone could bring us something, and then maybe we'll hide our stop loss below this potential low. And because we tried to identify high probability trades with great risk to reward ratio, yeah, because you don't want to maybe buy it here, to place a stop loss here and the price to maybe drop and to stay, I don't know, with your trade. Okay, yeah, we'll take a look, as I told you at the beginning of this live session webinar. Let's take a look on US 100, on US equities. Yeah, what a nice, and as you already know from my analysis, the US equities are bullish. Okay, and I've told you, yeah, I don't know, man, Giovanni, unfortunately, yeah, I don't know. I've told you that I'm not managing that swing group. So US 100 Nasdaq, so it has reached here a fresh new historical high, all-time high, 15,137, temporary decline. But the DXY, the dollar depreciation right now pushes the US equities higher. That's why the US 100, the Nasdaq, continues to increase. But unfortunately I don't like to buy it here around all-time highs, even if the US index will continue to increase. I've told you technically here that maybe jumping above 15,000 psychological level could bring us a potential further growth, upside continuation here in US 100, and also as long as it stays above the medium line of the ascending pitchfork, the bias is bullish. US 30, guys, bullish as well. Very nice pressuring here. 35,102 all-time high. And personally here, maybe I want something like this. Whoa, one moment, guys. Okay, for something like this, yeah, something like a consolidation above these highs, all-time highs, former highs, before maybe catching something. Also, all these failures to retest the medium line of the ascending pitchfork signal strong buyers here in US 13 on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and I've told you that the current DXY is drop, forces the US equities to jump higher. So the dollar index, the DXY, is still in the red here around the current levels, 92.57, around the S1 right below these broken levels, downside obstacles. So further decline could push the US equities higher, guys. And also don't forget guys to like this video here, this live session here, if you like my analysis, our signals. So let's take a look here. The British pound versus the US dollar continues to increase right now. And also guys, yeah, I will take a look on commodities as well. Thank you, don't worry. So you can also share our videos from our YouTube channel with your friends or on the social media. Also like our videos, it will be highly appreciated and it will be helpful for us into the YouTube algorithm. So our trades, open trades right now, the British pound versus the US dollar could continue to increase, and the potential further growth, I've told you that maybe could help us maybe to move the stop loss higher. Yeah, and also the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen is still valid. Gold guys, but I will take a look also, one moment, US 500, fresh new all-time high here, registered today, 4420.8 is bullish. It could continue to increase, higher highs, higher lows. Yeah, but maybe a temporary decline could help us to catch something again, or because right now is pressuring the 150% Fibonacci line, dynamic resistance, but it could continue to increase. I've told you if the DXY will drop. Gold, I believe that the price of gold increases right now, or no? No, unfortunately no. Even if the DXY is trading in the red, but personally I like this retest here of this major support zone on gold. And as you already know, as long as it stays above the lower medium line of the minor ascending pitchfork, it could increase. And then right now, yeah, I really like this drop here, retest, because a new false breakdown with great separation, a new retest, a major, maybe a major bullish engulfing. If maybe the price of gold will register something like a major bullish candle here, something like a bullish engulfing followed by a breakout could bring us a buying opportunity. Also a false breakdown with great separation, if the price drops like this here, drops below all these support levels and closes above them, followed by a strong bullish candle, could bring us something here. So we'll have to wait, and maybe when we'll have confirmation here, we'll come back with a new maybe buying signal in gold guys. Yeah, and as you already know, and also here we have also the lower medium line of a major ascending pitchfork. So here only retest. So the price of gold is still located in the buyer's territory, and it could maybe still increase from here. That's why personally I will still look for, and I'll still wait for a fresh maybe buying opportunity, fresh bullish signal here around these levels, maybe after a new higher high, after maybe I told you after a pin bar, after a bullish engulfing here, but I'll wait for something here. Yeah, thank you guys. One moment, silver. So yeah guys, we may have something soon in gold, and also the high impact events data could bring us something really good in gold during the week, this week. Right now I don't have something really good here in silver. Personally I don't like the price action right now here. Maybe we can draw maybe something like this. Let's take a look. Or maybe something like this. But right now we can say only that The price of silver has found temporary resistance here right above the weekly pivot point at the 50% Fibonacci line downside. Maybe a new higher high here, maybe consolidation above the weekly pivot point, breakout, but no, I will not go long right now on silver because maybe I'm still waiting for something in gold right now, right? So we could have something like this, but this is not helpful for us. US oil, guys. US oil, it moves sideways here in the short term, as I've told you. As I've told you guys. One moment. Okay, so guys, I've told you that here something like a sideways movement consolidation could bring us something in US oil again. This candle here on the 4-hour chart, false breakdown, great separation below the 38.2, below these immediate support levels, maybe followed by a new higher high, could bring us something. Let's take a look on hourly as well. But right now, unfortunately, this candle here, it has only retested 23.6. It has closed it far below it. So right now, we cannot exclude maybe a new temporary decline here, test, retest, before maybe jumping higher. Let's wait and see. Guys, it could maybe come back to test, retest the broken 150% Fibonacci line before jumping higher. But yeah, personally I believe that something like a valid breakout here above 23.6, above the warning line, could really signal a potential strong growth here in US oil, right? We'll have to wait here for something, or maybe for the price to end this sideways movement range here in the short term. But here its failure here to come back to retest the outside sliding parallel line, the upper medium line, to come back maybe to drop here towards the weekly pivot point, signal that the buyers are still strong and the price of US oil could resume its growth. We'll have to wait, guys, yep, to see what will really happen. Ethereum, guys, what an important and nice rally. I've told you from here that we may have something like an important growth from this support zone, demand zone. Right now it tries to stabilize right above the medium line of the ascending pitchfork. It has found maybe temporary resistance here at the R1, making a new higher high here, stabilizing above all these, could signal potential further growth if the price of Bitcoin will continue to increase as well. Dogecoin, guys, yeah, finally breakout from this minor pattern down channel. It has found temporary resistance, and maybe a temporary decline could bring us a new long opportunity. Also breakout above these could bring us something. Ripple, guys, Ripple, only one moment because I will delete all these. Temporary growth here as well. And if the price of Bitcoin maybe continues to increase, then it could continue to increase as well. One moment. Okay, so yeah, as you can see here, it has failed to stabilize right below 78.6 retracement level. It has failed here to maybe reach retest 0.5096. But right now here on Ripple we don't have something, but personally I believe that it could continue to increase if the price of Bitcoin will increase. We had this aggressive breakout here, something like a consolidation, could bring us something like a temporary decline test retest maybe. Yeah, okay, let's take a look on our trades right now. What a nice rally here in the British pound versus the US dollar. We are in profit around 38 pips, guys, right now, and maybe jumping closing above R1, above 78.6 could signal potential growth towards our target, guys. In British pound versus the US dollar, Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen, one moment. Yeah, it's still bullish here, and please take a look. Breakout above the downtrend line, sideways movement, its failure to come back maybe towards this low, its failure here to come back to retest the downtrend line, signaling maybe potential growth here. And I really believe that maybe something here like a new higher high, if the price jumps and closes above the 88 psychological level, could really activate strong growth in the short term, could bring more buyers here in this pair. Okay guys, Canadian dollar versus, or US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, sorry. Sideways movement here, it has dropped right below this immediate uptrend line, signaling potential drop also towards this uptrend line, towards up channel support. In the short term right now we don't have something, or we could maybe identify something like a range here in the short term, but maybe only an upside breakout could bring us a new long opportunity here, because a downside breakout here could only signal a potential drop towards the uptrend line, and only a potential valid breakdown below this uptrend line could signal a potential strong drop here. US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Sell off. We are still inside of this down channel. We have a positive correlation between the DXY and the US dollar versus the Swiss franc. So right now the price drops only because the DXY drops. Yeah. Australian dollar versus the US dollar. A nice rally right now after retesting here the downside 50% Fibonacci line, also the weekly pivot point, but we don't have something really good here right now. Personally, I don't want to buy maybe this pair from here, because we are right below these immediate strong resistance levels. Okay guys, I will end this webinar here right now. I'm here for more than 1 hour. So our trades are still good despite the temporary decline here again on the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. And also this one is really good on the British pound versus the US dollar. Right? Okay. Thank you guys for watching this live session.